I would like more right now fighting with Barrera, because we called him for this fight, but he didn't approve this fight, but he got a fight on this card. Right now, we fought on the same card, and it is a reason to make a fight with him. And next, make unification fights in the middle of next year. Those are the words of Sergey Kovalev calling out Sullivan Barrera, his main event's stablemate at light heavyweight. As he also said there, Barrera turned the fight down with Kovalev. But as far as I'm aware, he turned the fight down with Kovalev when it wasn't yet a world title fight. Sullivan Barrera knows that Sergey Kovalev is a fight that he could very, very possibly lose. Maybe in his own mind, he thinks he'll probably lose it. I don't know how confident he is. But he certainly didn't want to take on Kovalev before getting a world title shot. That's what it seems to be to me as an outsider looking in. Now that Kovalev has a world title, will Sullivan Barrera target a fight with Kovalev now? Will he take this fight? Because all the other champions are tough too. If he goes to fight Artur Beterbiev, that's a hell of a tough fight. If he goes to fight Bivol, that's a hell of a tough fight. And as far as Adonis Stevenson, man, Stevenson's not even fighting, so he can forget about that. So he might as well take on Kovalev at this point. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. And at least Kovalev has a world title. I guess it's just sorting out the finances now for Sullivan Barrera. It's a very easy fight to make because they're both Cafe Duva main events fighters. It's just about, do the figures make sense for Sullivan Barrera and Sergey Kovalev? If they do, then you can expect this fight to happen next. If they don't, and Barrera thinks he's going to get a better payday by challenging one of the other champions, then maybe it won't happen. But we'll see. What do I think is going to happen if they do fight? I fully expect Sergey Kovalev to knock Sullivan Barrera out. Barrera's a good fighter. He's a big light heavyweight. He's strong. Decent punching power. Nothing amazing. I mean, just compare Sullivan Barrera's performance against Shabransky to Kovalev's performance against Shabransky on Saturday night. Obviously, Kovalev has more advantages over Barrera other than punching power. I think he's more accurate. I think he's just sharper in general. But he also hits substantially harder than Sullivan Barrera, in my view. Not that Barrera's feather-fisted, he's not, but he's not on Kovalev's level in terms of power. So, yeah, I think Sergey Kovalev will knock out Sullivan Barrera. Barrera's got heart, but his punch resistance is really questionable. I've actually lost count now of the amount of time Sullivan Barrera's been on the floor. He was down in the Andre Ward fight. He was down in the Shabransky fight. He was down in his fight against Valera recently. There may be other times that he's actually, I think there is other times he's been knocked down too, which have currently escaped my memory. But yeah, the guy, in terms of his punch resistance, he looks shaky. And he's not that slick or that quick to be getting away. He's got decent speed, you know, decent lateral movement and foot movement. But you have to imagine that Sergey Kovalev won't find it that difficult to land decent shots on Sullivan Barrera. Barrera is a lot more clever than a guy like Shabransky. So he's not just going to go steaming in the way Shabransky did. He's going to be a bit more tactical and tactful than Shabransky was. But I still think it's only a matter of time before Sergey Kovalev's going to catch him and break him down and probably take him out. I wouldn't be shocked if, when this fight happens, if this fight happens, I wouldn't be shocked if Barrera was able to go the distance. That wouldn't shock me, but he'd have to fight a very defensive fight. A counter-punching fight, I think, to be able to do that. Maybe he will do that, but I'd definitely be leaning more towards Kovalev knocking Barrera out sometime from the midway stage on. That's what I would go for. But drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about this. Will this fight happen? Will Sullivan Barrera choose to go a different route? What other route is there for him to go? All the other world champions are big punchers. He's never going to get a fight with Stevenson. I think that's very unlikely. So the only other two options would be Beterbiev and Bivol. Both of them are massive punchers too. So where's he going to go? He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know, if he's not going to fight Kovalev, who will he fight? What do you think in the comment section below? And if this Kovalev-Barrera Barrera fight does happen, how do you see it playing out? How much of a chance do you think Barrera has got? More of a chance than I think he's got? At the end of the day, as I said in my post-fight video following the Shabransky-Kovalev fight, Kovalev has yet to be put in a position where he's getting tested in the ring since the Andre Ward fight. Because obviously he's only had one fight, the Shabransky fight, but it was a blowout. Shabransky wasn't able to put Kovalev in any difficult situations. I want to see Kovalev in a difficult situation and see how he reacts mentally. Whether he capitulates or whether he comes firing back and grits his teeth and does what he has to do. So that's what I'm waiting to see. If he can pass that test of being in a difficult situation and coming through it, then Kovalev might be the guy to clean up the division all over again. I know Beterbiev's a tough guy, but again, we've never seen Beterbiev in a tough situation yet. We don't know how he would react getting cracked on the chin by Sergey Kovalev's power. So there's a lot of questions about Beterbiev. Same with Bivol. Kovalev has been fighting at a higher level than those guys against better fighters. So we know more about Kovalev actually than we know about those guys. So if Kovalev is able to come through a crisis and show me that his, any demons that he might have had have been exorcised and they're gone, then maybe we will be looking at a guy who can actually reign over the light heavyweight division for a couple years to come. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section, people. It's happening. I'm out.